Anybody have kids? Okay, if you don't have kids, anybody have a sister? If you don't have a sister, do you got a niece, granddaughter? Any female in your family, anybody that you know that you can imagine? Okay, work with me, right? What would you do right now if your phone buzzed? Those of you who are looking at your phones. If your phone buzzed or it beeped, if you're like me and I'm a mom, people always know if you're a mom, you have to look. I mean, it might be your kid, right? But what if you looked and it was a text that said, your child is missing and we suspect that somebody has them in their trafficking? Would you politely sit in your seat till I got through? No. You would probably come grab this microphone from me after we heard you yelling and screaming and crying. You would look around the room and go, is there any law enforcement officers? Does anybody know anybody? Can you use your influence to help find my kid? If you rode with somebody and you didn't have a car, you would say, can I have your keys? Can I have your car? Would you be shameless? Yeah, you would. You wouldn't care what anybody thought about you. Would you get up and go to work tomorrow? Would you even remember to call your boss? Those aren't the things that you would think about. You guys, that's what I feel like in my heart. I birthed 3 biological sons. And on that morning when I sat in a church, and I always wanted daughters, my boys know this, it's no surprise. When I sat in that church that Sunday, the Lord, I literally felt like he said to me, you know the daughters you've always wanted? Well, your daughters are being raped, abused, and sold for sex every night. That's what he deposited in me. I'm not a fundraiser. I'm not a, what the paper call me? An activist, right? The activist. No, in the South, that's like a bad word, right? My husband's like, don't show that to people. We moved to California, and now you're an activist. That's a wrong connotation. I'm a mama. That's all I am. I'm a mama here telling you tonight that my kids, shamelessly, and if you got any influence, if you got any money, if you got anything that you can help me rescue my kids, that's what I'm asking for. That's what it feels like. You guys, that's why children are being sold for sex in the United States. They don't have a mom and a daddy looking for them. Most of our kids that are being picked up are already in the foster care system. So that means they've already been abused and tortured by the people that were supposed to love them and take care of them. That's why they're vulnerable to some guy preying upon them, promising them love and home and a family. He looks for them at the malls. He sends in girls to high school and junior high schools. He tries to date them on Facebook. He can spot a vulnerable child out of a room this big. He can find her. That's it. They're being preyed upon. But that's why you and I aren't hearing about it. If we're loving our kids and taking care of our kids, we're doing our job. But if it's one of our kids, you and I are going to try to get the news people to put us on the front page of papers and television screaming our child's missing. Posters run up and down the street. Nobody's doing that for these kids. That's why it's happening.